Hello guys, happy Tuesday and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I kind of wanted to talk through my journey and just explain how I was able to save my first £1,000. Now the reason why I wanted to make this video is because most of you will know that I do tend to save over £1,000 every single month, but I really wanted to show you guys that it's not always been like this. Okay, so for me this journey took a good few months and it's something that I really struggled with in the beginning. So I really wanted to do this video just to show you guys what my starting point was, and you will see my progress over the 6-7 months. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm actually going to be showing you my budget. So the first budget I made, so what I've done is I've populated all the numbers on my new budgeting spreadsheet. So this is a spreadsheet that I tend to use all the time for my budgets now, and if you want to have access to it, I do have a weekly or monthly budget template. I will link those in the description below for you, but I really wanted to just walk through and show you guys how terrible it was, because it wasn't great. I'm not even gonna lie to you. So yeah, I really hope this just gives you encouragement, especially if you are trying to save money and you're maybe struggling. And yeah, let's just get started. So the first budget I made was for the month of November in 2018. So obviously it's been a couple of years since then, but let me just show you what the budget was looking like. So I've just hit the salary because the salary is basically what I was on a few months ago, but most of you guys will know I was earning just under £30,000 a year, so you probably will have a bit of an idea as to how much I was making per month. But the first month, this was when I really tried to save money. So you can see that I was trying to save around £168 for that month, and the reason why I was trying to save that is because I was trying to build an emergency fund. So this was at the point where I knew that I had a large amount of debt, and if you haven't seen my videos where I talk about how much debt I had and how I paid it off, I will link that up here for you guys and in the description below. But when I basically started reading and learning about personal finance, I wanted to try and have a mini emergency fund so that I can start to pay off my debt and just have that on the side just in case anything happens. So I was basically trying to save, I think, £500 within the next 3 months. So let's move over to essential bills. So in terms of rent, I was paying £500 a month. So again, I was living in a house of multiple occupations, so I did have my own room, and then I would share communal areas like the kitchen and the living room, but I did have my own bathroom, so I did have an ensuite. So I was paying £500 a month, and that basically covered all my bills. So I didn't have to pay council tax, I didn't have to pay any utility bills or internet. It was all included in that price. So I would say that I'm quite proud of myself because this was before I even started my personal finance journey. So I'm happy that I've made that decision, to be honest. At that point, I was also only paying about £10 a month. So this was because I was with Voxy, and again, this was something that I had already done. So I bought my phone outright. It was a refurbished phone, and then I just got a SIM contract. So if you are thinking of maybe looking for another SIM contract, I will link my Voxy link in the description below. Then at the same time, yes, this is when I was in debt. So I had my car financed and I had to pay £282.76 a month. So that just went straight out of my bank account, and for me that was a huge chunk of change. Okay, so I don't know who I thought I was, but the one thing I would also say is this money meant that by the time, I think it was after 4 years, I would own the car outright, but it meant that I was paying over £280 a month. So the next thing was AA. So I did actually pay for that yearly. I don't actually remember what I needed to pay for, but at this point I didn't even know what sinking funds were. So you can see that it just ended up coming out of my essential bills because I didn't really save for it, so I just had to pay it out, and yeah, that was it. The same with road tax. Again, I paid for the year because that's just something that I've always preferred, and then there were just other things in terms of my bills that I had to pay, which came to about £110. And then obviously I was also giving as well. So again, giving is really, really important to me. It's something that I've always done for probably the past 3 years. So in total, my essential bills, excluding my charities and giving, came to over £1,000 a month. And I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, when I went back to my 2018 budget and I saw this number, honestly, I was so shocked and I just couldn't believe it. And I've really just come a long way, but hey ho. Anyway, let's move over to sinking funds. So I decided to have one sinking fund, which was £60 for Christmas presents. Now, really and truly, this wasn't really a sinking fund because Christmas was the next month. So I hadn't actually saved for Christmas at all throughout the rest of the year. So I then had to start saving up in November. So that was basically my October paycheck because I started this budget at the end of October to go into November. So yeah, I had £60 there, but at least it was a start. So like I say, it's progress, guys. guys. At least I started. And then let's just go over to spending, because spending was an interesting one too. So the first thing I budgeted, can you see the importance that I put on my spending, guys? Why is the first thing eating out, please? Usually you guys will see it on my normal budgets. The first thing I kind of have is like groceries or petrol. Why is the first thing I have on spending eating out? Please let me know. And let's just even look at how much I basically budgeted. So I budgeted about £85 because roughly that is exactly what I was spending each month. For what reason, I don't know, but £85 is what I had in my budget. And then toiletries, it was about £14, which is quite similar to what I have today. Then I had to buy a birthday present. So again, this wasn't part of my sinking fund because I just never prepared for it. So I then had to fork out £44 for a birthday present, which wasn't great. And then also travel. So this was basically excluding my petrol. So I would usually take public transport if I wasn't driving. So that was what that £16 was for. And then obviously it meant that I could go out to eat and spend £85 a month. So yeah, that was an interesting one. Petrol again was around £60. So it used to fluctuate between £60 to £80. So mostly that was because I was commuting to work, and then I'd also commute back to London each weekend as well. And then groceries, I would budget about £60. Now this was an interesting one because you'll see from my other budgets, I didn't tend to just use £60 for my groceries, but there were some months that I would come back to my parents' house and I'd basically just collect food and take it back with me. So yeah, I think that's why I didn't really need to budget that much for groceries in that month. But I also spent some money on books. So again, this is when I was trying to start learning about personal finance. So I started buying books. And then look at my miscellaneous, please. £61. For what reason? Now, usually I would have miscellaneous and it's about £20 to £30. I didn't know what I'd be spending £61, and believe I spent that £61. Okay, I didn't save anything. I didn't put anything in my pennies jar, none of that. So again, this was the first month. So let's quickly move over to December. So in December, I actually overspent in that month, which you can see, which definitely wasn't great. So again, I tried to save about £168, so roughly around the same. My rent was the same, SIM contract and my car finance. I was also going to the gym, so I spent $18.99 and that was for the month. And I also just had other things that came to like £10, and then obviously my charity and tithe. So again, my essential bills came to just under £1,000, but still a relatively high amount for me personally. But again, sinking funds, I then had another £60 put towards Christmas presents because Christmas was obviously going to be in December and I hadn't saved for it over the year. And then spending, you see, this is where it starts to increase a little bit. So groceries, it was actually £71 that I was spending. So that is relatively more than I spend now. Petrol was slightly higher as well. It was about £72. I also had to buy another birthday present. You see where these monies just coming out of your account and you don't realize. So again, had to fork out another £31. Travel, again, it was around Christmas time. So of course I'd be going out to see my friends and go and eat and stuff. So again, that was about £25. That also was just public transport, so it doesn't include my petrol costs. Miscellaneous, £100. For what reason, guys? £100 on miscellaneous. And believe you and me, I did not know what I really spent my money on. So yeah, it just wasn't great. Toiletries, again, £15. I did have my graduation as well. So I think I had my graduation in January. So I did have to pay over £100 for that. And then also I had a work Christmas dinner and that was about £32. So to be honest, I think that miscellaneous probably ended up being eating out, because I don't know why I even didn't budget for eating out when I definitely know I ate out a lot during Christmas. So yeah, it's just really interesting. So you can see my total spending was over £470. So here we move over to the budget for January, and you can see at the top here I did actually end up overspending by £45 the previous month, so I did have to include that in my budget. So in January I did not save a penny. I have no idea why, but let's see, because I just didn't save a penny for some reason. And then obviously with essential bills, rent, SIM contract and my car finance was pretty much the same. But then I also decided to buy a yearly membership for my gym. So that actually cost me about £167. Again, I didn't have a sinking fund for that, so it just came out of my pocket through that month, which meant that my expenses were slightly higher. But also I had about £10 on just other things, and then charity and tithes I've just blanked out again. So all in all, it was still about £969 that I I was paying for that month. And then when it comes to sinking funds, instead of me to start saving for Christmas and birthday presents like the person I am, I didn't bother. So I didn't have anything for sinking funds, which is great. And then obviously we come on to spending. Yeah, for spending, this is when I actually started to maybe prioritize things in the list. So I first looked at petrol, so that was about £80 that I was spending. Groceries, £49. Again, I think that was mainly because I was traveling back home, so I tend to have some food there. But for my birthday dinner, so it was actually my birthday that month, I decided to allocate myself £20 because I was hoping that maybe my friends would buy me something else too, like buy me some food or whatever. And then I also went to the hair salon, so I was basically changing up my hair, and that cost me £200, which was very expensive. Also with travel, again, £24 on public transport, eating out or any activities. So I didn't actually allocate money for both eating out or entertainment separately. I actually just put them together, and that was about £90 that I allocated. So yeah, just not great. And then miscellaneous, which was slightly less this month, for about £20. Again, this was also a problem that I had because I wasn't really tracking what I was doing with my budgets very clearly either. So you'll see that there are some fluctuations that probably shouldn't have happened. I wasn't really being very strict with my budget. So yeah, it's just really an interesting one. And then for the month of February, so this is where I realized that because I had paid for a lot of other expenses, I had a lot more free money. So obviously the past couple of months I was paying for things like my car and my gym. I no longer had those expenses, so it meant that I could afford to start putting more money into my savings. So I actually managed to save £300 that month, which was really good. But also I took part in my company share save scheme. Now what this basically was is that you can actually save money and they take it directly from your paycheck before you actually have the money in your bank account. So what it would basically do is on my payslip, I was putting in £100 a month. Now guys, this honestly helped me so much because it meant that I physically didn't see the money. So for me, when they took that money out, it was the same time as my taxes and my national insurance and all of that stuff. So this honestly changed the game for me because it meant that I was able to save an extra £100 a month and I didn't feel it, because I realized that if you have the money in your bank account, you're probably more likely to spend it. So the fact that they had just taken this out automatically, for me, it was just an absolute game changer, to be honest. But with essential bills, again, the main three things kept the same, but then also I had to get some AA cover as well. So that cost me an extra £56. Again, I didn't have any sinking funds for that. I didn't even have any sinking funds for that month as well. And then we move over to spending. So my graduation photo, so I needed to pay for my photo. I also had to go to the dentist, and of course if you're going for a checkup, I was paying £18 at the time. I then also had petrol for about £70, food for about £70, toiletries £20, travel slightly less this time, £8, because I wasn't going out as much. Eating out / entertainment, that was about £40. Again, this is when I was really starting to limit how often I was going out. And then I spent quite a bit on books, but I was really happy with my purchases because again, these were personal finance, personal development books, because I really wanted to just increase my knowledge quite a bit. So I spent about £17 there, and it meant that I only had about £5 in my miscellaneous. So this is where you can start to see a shift in my mindset. I think this is when I really started to take control of my finances. So there were some things where I still needed to work on, but at least I was making progress. Then we move over to March. Now you may have thought that I basically got myself together and everything was all hunky-dory, but no, actually within these few months I kept having to dip into my savings for other things, so other emergencies that came up. So every single time I would try to save money, I would end up having to pull out that money at times because I just had to pay for stuff. So really, even though I was trying to save in this budget, I actually wasn't building that much in terms of my savings. So basically that meant that I had overspent by £300 because I think an emergency had come out, and because I then had to take it out of my savings, I obviously didn't have any other savings or investments for March. But however, I did have my share save scheme, which was about £100 that came out automatically. And then I was also paying again for my rent, SIM contract and other things, which I don't really remember what I was paying for, but I knew I had to pay for something that was like £210, but also that then came to about £1,000. Again, I still was not doing any sinking funds, unfortunately. So yeah, I do kind of wish I did that earlier on. In terms of spending, I had to go back to the dentist because I needed to get a couple of fillings. So that cost me another £37.50, which wasn't wasn't great. But also petrol, again, that was about £80 for the month. Food, I was spending about £75. So this is probably when I stopped going to my parents' house so often to eat. Again, I was shopping at Lidl and Aldi. They are very affordable. So that's why I was able to spend that much. In terms of eating out, I was allocating £30 for that. Toiletries £14, travel about £27, again public transport, and entertainment slightly higher of £45. So it's not as low as I usually do now, obviously not now because we're in lockdown, but more so how much I would spend usually, but it was a good start. Then the budget for April, so I managed to actually save quite a lot of money this month. So I saved £400, which was really good, and again £100 coming out of my share save scheme. These essential bills were pretty much the same, apart from the fact that I did have to pay home insurance, because again, even though I wasn't living in this house, I do co-own this house, so I was paying home insurance, which is something that I tend to do. Again, it's something that I hadn't prepared for. I did not have a sinking fund for it, but it's just something that I just had to pay for in that month. Anyway, moving over to spending, so you can see petrol was about £70, food was about £50. Toiletries, I have no idea why it was only £4. Maybe it was just the month that I didn't really need to buy toiletries. Travel was only £5. So I think this is where I was starting to get slightly strict. Again, with eating out, very similar, about £16, which was very different for me. Entertainment, about £25. So it's still slightly higher than eating out. But again, I think I was just trying to decrease my expenses at this point. I was still a bit shambolic when it came to birthday presents, because I ended up having to buy 3 birthday presents. And I think most of them were work presents. So obviously it would have been better if I did have a sinking fund for them, but hey ho, it's fine. I also started buying a property magazine, so this is something that I am subscribed to. I only pay £5 a quarter, and this is something that I still do as well now, so that's not really going to change. And miscellaneous, about £20. So now what I want to do is I want to go over to the tab where it talks about the yearly roundup. Obviously it's not for the whole year, but this is basically how long it took me to save my first £1,000. So if we go over to this tab, it then gives you the percentage. So as you can see, essential bills was about 62%, which for me is a bit mad. Again, the first few months were very expensive months when it came to my essential bills, because I just hadn't really saved up for anything yet, followed by savings of about 14%. And to be honest, that was really based on the latter few months. The first few months, you guys can see that I wasn't really saving much. Even in January, I didn't even save anything, to be honest. But it's really that February, March, April time where I was able to start saving quite a bit of money. Sinking funds was of course only 1%. Spending was about 23%. Again, this is really where I just didn't make many sinking funds at all, and this is something that I literally swear by now, because it just makes your life so much easier. So yeah, really interesting. Obviously you guys will know that I currently do save over 70% of my income, and I do have a video explaining that in a bit more detail, so I will link that up here for you and in the description below. But again, this is something where it took some time. It did take a few months. You can see I was only saving about 15% of my income, so not a lot. But if you did like this video, then please do give me a thumbs up if you haven't already, and let me know in the comments how you think I did in my first few months. Is this something that was quite similar to you, or is this something that you just started saving money as soon as possible? Let me know what your journey was like and if it was similar to mine. I do post every Tuesday and Friday, so if you would like to know more, then of course you can subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys on Friday.